Welcome back to Red vs. Blue episode summaries. Today, I'll be doing episode 16, A Slightly Cruller. At the top of Red Base, Donut had now returned from the hospital, back to normal health. While he was gone, much to his satisfaction, he was also given his own color armor from Command, which he claimed was his reward for originally retrieving the flag. What was this unique armor color? Pink. Donut was talking to Griffin Simmons about his happiness regarding his new armor, causing Griffin Simmons to look at each other in disbelief, confused as to how someone could be happy with pink armor. Thinking Donut just somehow didn't realize, Simmons tried to inform Donut, but struggling to get the words out due to the shock, instructed Griff to tell him instead. Griff just shouted, "Your armor is pink, frickin' pink," with Simmons confirming. You would think Donut was obviously aware of this, but he actually wasn't, denying it, claiming Griff and Simmons were colorblind, and that Command had no reason to give him pink armor. Griff simply responded with, "Don't ask, don't tell," in relation to a bill that could ban gay people from the military, laughing his ass off. Simmons tried to play off the joke as unfunny due to its offensive nature, but Griff managed to convince him it was a little funny. Donut protested that it wasn't pink, but instead just a lightish red, proving that Donut likely had realized, but was just in denial. Griff responded that a color already existed for lightish red, being pink, leading Donut to angrily murmur how much he hated Griffin Simmons, his denial still far from broken. Sarge and Lopez then ran up from inside the base, with Sarge greeting Griffin Simmons as dirtbags and Donut as madam, joining in on the pink armor harassing. Donut retorted once again that it was lightish red, leading Sarge to sarcastically instruct Donut not to twist his panties before getting to the reason why he and Lopez were up top in the first place, which was to retrieve a package that Command had sent back with Donut, which was a speech unit Sarge had ordered that was supposed to work with Lopez, which Donut reassured Command said was true as he gave Sarge the unit. Sarge explained that when he was building Lopez, Command was out of speech units, so up until this point Lopez had been mute. He then celebrated that he would finally have someone intelligent to talk to, specifying he meant no offense to Simmons, with Simmons clarifying he knew Sarge just wanted to make yet another jab at Griff. Griff didn't even react to this jab, as he was in even more shock than with Donut's pink armor, at the fact that Lopez was in fact actually a robot this whole time and required a speech unit. Simmons was shocked that Griff was shocked, questioning how he never wondered how Lopez had never said a single word. Griff defended that Lopez could have just been a really quiet guy, leading Sarge to bring up how he sleeps standing up and drinks motor oil. Griff did think that was strange at first, but somehow took it as Lopez trying to impress him. With Sarge finally going to input the unit, Simmons wanted him to be careful about static damaging it, with Sarge shrugging off the warning as another myth from when he was a kid, referencing old bracelets, soda, and pop rocks, destroying the stomach as a kid. However, Sarge immediately regretted his negligence, as static formed immediately as the unit touched Lopez, causing Sarge to yelp and Lopez to glow yellow for several seconds. Simmons immediately promised not to say he told him so, with Sarge approving, since otherwise he would have to make Donut his new best private, calling him Strawberry Shortcake, as Donut irately screamed once again that the armor was lightish red. Meanwhile, at the blue base, Caboose had finished cleaning off Tucker's armor once again, restoring its aqua color, and was complaining to Tucker about how hard the black stuff was to get it off, as Tucker was cleaning Caboose's armor lazily, not making much progress. Tucker countered that it came off easier when Caboose cleaned his, with Caboose claiming it was because Caboose actually cleaned it, while Tucker, on the other hand, was barely doing anything. Tucker, not cool with having his laziness called out, countered that he couldn't hear Caboose over the sound of his constant team killing, referring to the technical 2 times he shot Church. Caboose laughed sarcastically and psychotically, threatening Tucker to not make him mad. Back at Red Base, Donut asked Griffin Simmons for a recap of what happened to him, stating he could only recall having a spider on his head, a loud bang, and Simmons fainting before going unconscious. Griff clarifies that the spider was a grenade, and laughs in satisfaction that he was right about Simmons fainting, rubbing it in Simmons' face. All Simmons could do was deny that he fainted again, to no success. Sarge, having fixed the static, ordered Lopez to activate it. Lopez obliged, and finally spoke, but to everyone's shock, in Spanish. He spoke a whole 3 sentences before Donut asked if he was the only one not understanding any of this, as Lopez said his name was Lopez in Spanish. Griff stupidly thought that since he understood the word Lopez, he could speak Spanish. Sarge, frustrated, demanded Lopez to speak English, with Lopez responding that it was impossible for him. Lopez always speaks Spanish unless said otherwise, obviously. if you didn't know. Simmons suggested that the static must have shorted out the unit, but Sarge, not wanting to take the blame, accused Donut of grabbing the wrong model from command, calling him Princess Peach. Donut didn't even address the accusation, instead just tiredly denying the pink armor yet again. Sarge attempted ordering Lopez to speak a language they understood for a second time, followed by asking him how they fixed the speech unit, this time asking slower. Lopez simply replied, "Negativo," and Griff questioned why Sarge was speaking slow even though Lopez understood them, suggesting Sarge listen slower instead. Sarge, pissed off, denies the suggestion, instead asking Lopez if he would like to shoot Griff, with Lopez raising his gun saying, "Si senor, gracias," in response.